Welcome to AI Talk English Channel.
My name is Ananya. I am 19 years old. I live in a small town with my family. My family is not very big, but it is full of love. We laugh together, we fight sometimes, but at the end of the day, we care for each other deeply. There are 5 people in my family: my father, my mother, my younger brother, my grandmother, and me. Each one is different, but together we are complete. Morning in my house is always full of energy. The first person to wake up is my grandmother. She is 72 years old, but she wakes up before everyone. She goes to the balcony, waters the plants, and takes a short walk inside the house. Sometimes she makes warm milk for herself and quietly sits on the sofa reading an old magazine. My mother wakes up next. She goes straight to the kitchen. Soon, the smell of fresh tea and breakfast fills the house. Sometimes it is parathas, sometimes idlis, and sometimes just bread and butter. My father is not an early riser. He wakes up a little late, but once he is awake, he gets ready quickly for his office. He always checks his phone for news and weather before leaving. I usually wake up around 6:30. My alarm rings, and sometimes I press snooze. But if my mother calls loudly, I have no choice but to get up. I brush my teeth, wash my face, and get ready for college. My younger brother, Arav, is the last one to wake up. He is 14 years old and still in school. Every day, my mother has to shout, "Arav, get up, or you will be late." He runs here and there, searching for his socks, his homework, or his lunchbox. It is funny to watch him panic every morning. At around 7:30, we all sit for breakfast. This is my favorite time of the day because everyone is together. My father usually eats quickly and reads the newspaper. He tells us about the latest news, sometimes politics, sometimes sports. My mother serves food with a smile, but also keeps reminding us, "Eat fast, don't be late." My grandmother eats slowly. She tells us to chew properly and not to hurry. She often shares small stories from her childhood at the breakfast table. Arav and I fight sometimes. If there are only 2 parathas left, both of us want the bigger one. My mother scolds us, but my father laughs and says, "This is normal brother-sister love." My father is 45 years old. He works in a bank. He is serious about his job, but at home he becomes funny and light-hearted. He loves cricket. Whenever there is a big match, he forgets everything else. He even shouts at the TV as if the players can hear him. But he is also my biggest support. Whenever I feel nervous about exams or future, he says, "Ananya, hard work never fails. Do your best and don't be afraid." His words give me confidence. My mother is 42 years old. She is a school teacher. She teaches mathematics, but she is also the best cook in the world. She manages everything: home, school, and us. She is patient, but when she is angry, the whole house becomes silent. Still, her anger never lasts long. She always hugs us after scolding. Every evening, she asks me about college. She gives me advice and says, "Education will give you wings. Use them wisely." Arav is my younger brother. He is naughty, but also very sweet. He loves playing video games and cricket with his friends. At home, he troubles me all the time. Sometimes he hides my books. Sometimes he takes my phone without asking. But when I am sad, he is the first one to cheer me up. We share secrets too. If I buy chocolates, I hide them in my cupboard. He always finds them. But instead of eating all, he leaves one for me. That's his way of showing love. My grandmother is the heart of our house. She is old, but she is very active. She tells us stories from her younger days about how life was without phones, cars, or internet. In the evening, she sits on the balcony with her knitting. Sometimes she calls me and says, "Ananya, come sit with me. Let's talk." I love those moments because she teaches me values, patience, and kindness. After college, I return home in the afternoon. Sometimes I feel tired, but as soon as I enter, I hear my mother asking, "Did you eat lunch at college?" If I say no, she scolds me lovingly and puts food on my plate. Arav returns later from school. He throws his bag on the sofa and runs to play cricket outside. My mother shouts, "Do your homework first." But he never listens. In the evening, my father comes home. The sound of his scooter is enough for us to know he has arrived. We all run to the door. He looks tired, but when he sees us, he smiles. We all have tea together. My grandmother tells us a joke or story. My father talks about his office. My mother shares something from her school. I tell them about my classes, and Arav adds his funny experiences. That is the moment when the house feels alive. At 8:30, we have dinner. Sometimes we sit at the dining table. Sometimes we spread a mat in the living room and eat together. The TV plays in the background, usually the news or a serial that my grandmother likes. After dinner, my father watches TV. My mother clears the kitchen. Arav finishes his homework at the last minute. I sit with my books, or sometimes write in my diary. Before sleeping, my grandmother prays for all of us. She says, "Family is the biggest blessing." I believe her words. When I think about my family, I feel lucky. Yes, we fight sometimes. Yes, we get angry and shout. But in the end, we cannot live without each other. My father gives me strength. My mother gives me love. My brother gives me laughter. And my grandmother gives me wisdom. Together, they make my world complete. So, this was the story of my family. It is not a rich family. It is not a perfect family. But it is my family. And I love them more than anything in the world. Family is not just people who live in the same house. Family is love, support, and care that stays with you forever.